Rangers. On the mound for the Perryton Rangers today, it's Anthony Castillo, as the Rangers have had a major shakeup in their defensive lineup and even in their offensive lineup to a degree. Adam Trejo is leadoff batter and playing shortstop as always, but Logan Lemunion has been moved. He is now in the center field position, moving from his right fielder position, and he's of course batting second. As we said, Marco pitching for the Rangers will be Anthony Castillo batting third. Nick Watts has been moved from first over to left field and batting fourth. Mauro Lemus catching has been moved to second base. Marco Ramirez is still in fifth place in the third base position, and number 5. Lemus is still the designated hitter. However, at catcher is Arturo Lopez. Number 9, they move up from the junior varsity, and Alex Rascon is at first base. Jody Espinoza has been moved to right field. So we'll try to keep you up to date on those changes as the game wears on, and we're about set to get this one underway. Brendan Wolfley, the shortstop and leadoff batter for the Pampa Harvesters, steps into the batting box, and we're set to go. Anthony Castillo on the mound. Arturo Lopez, the battery mate in this ball game. The wind and the delivery, strike one on the outside corner. Good fastball by Anthony Castillo. Wolfley is a outstanding athlete, as everybody knows. He's played football and basketball. There's an inside pitch, ball one. 1-1 the count. That one was close to being on the inside corner, but called a ball. I believe we've had this umpire once before. There is a pitch and ball 2 on the outside. 2-1 now to Brendan Wolfley. We've got an overcast sky, a little bit of breeze, and some coolish temperatures out here today. There's a wind and pitch, and ball 3 missed the inside corner with that fastball. Currently, the temperature is 62, wind gusting to 26. There's a pitch called strike right down the middle. Strike 2. Full count to Brendan Wolfley. Anthony Castillo, like Ramirez and to a degree Trejo, a quick moving pitcher. There's a wind and down low, ball 4, walked him. That got into the dirt, and there is a steal. Second throw down there and got him. He's out. That's right. Wolfley tried to steal second. He was on first, and the Rangers were picking up the ball from a bounce off of Castillo's mitt, and Wolfley says, I'm going to make it to second. Sure enough, he did not. Has an excellent throw by Ramirez. Gunned him out at second. So that's a good play for the Rangers. Brings up Cody Scarlett, the pitcher. First pitch on the outside, ball 1. And last game, Cody Scarlett was the center fielder, and he's a left-handed batter. There's a curveball just right in there on the outside corner to the left-handed batter, Cody Scarlett. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, as the Rangers alertly gunned down Brendan Wolfley at second, trying to steal it. Ball down in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike on Cody Scarlett, the pitcher today. On deck, Carson Eubank, the designated hitter. And from the wind, the delivery, and that's going to be high and outside, ball 3, 3-1. So we've had 6 balls and 3 strikes thrown to Anthony Castillo. There's the wind and the delivery. That's outside, walked him as well. So 2 walks and 1 out on a throw out on a steal, an attempted steal. that didn't work. It brings up Carson Eubank, designated hitter. And Carson Eubank batted in the 5th position when we played them in Pampa, and he had a single to left and a fly out to right and struck out swinging. There's a strike called right across the middle of the plate on Carson Eubank. No balls, 1 strike. Runner at first is Cody Scarlett. Takes off a lead. Castillo from the stretch. The pitch, swing and a miss. Add to him, and not even close on that one. No balls, 2 strikes on Carson Eubank. 1 away here in the top of the 1st inning. Rangers, Harvesters. Castillo, a hit back to Castillo to second for 1, and as he was throwing it, he was taken out by the Cody Scarlett, and they say that he dropped the ball and everybody's safe. So no out at second. And I don't see how that happens, because Ramirez or Trejo caught the ball and was attempting to throw to first. Yeah, that's better. Not even sure why he was still standing on the plate, because Trejo was attempting to throw to first when Scarlett took him out. But they got him at second on a fielder's choice, and 2 outs. Runner at first is Eubank. Brings up Fernando Anguiano, the 3rd baseman for the Pampa Harvesters. 2 away. This is the top of the 1st inning. Pampa, Perryton. There's a high fly to left field. Going back, and foul ball. That was well hit and pulled straight down the line to the short 338 in left field. It's much shorter in left field, 379 to right and 342 to center. There's a pitch, swing and a miss. He tried to hold it up, but didn't. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 man on base is Carson Eubank at first. On a fielder's choice, Castillo from the stretch. There's a fastball down in the dirt. Low, ball 1. 1-2 to Anguiano. Brandon Wolfley got on, attempted a steal while waiting to even pitch, and the Rangers gunned him down at second base. From the stretch, Anthony Castillo out in the dirt and doing a good job of just blocking the ball as it hit about 3 feet outside the plate. Ball 2. Needless to say, the release point a little bit late on that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Anguiano. On first today is Alex Rascon, and a strikeout looking. Good job by Anthony Castillo for out number 3. So 4 up, 3 down. Rangers and Pampa tied, coming up to Rangers. We'll be back in 60 seconds. And we're back at Mike Hargrove Field. 0-0, bottom of the 1st. Rangers did a good job of getting those 3 outs in the top of the inning. Leading off for the Rangers will be Adam Trejo, followed by Logan Lemunion and Anthony Castillo. Trejo in his normal leadoff batter position and playing shortstop. Logan Lemunion in center field today, and Castillo on the mound. About set to get this one going here in the bottom of the 2nd inning in this big tie game between the Pampa Harvesters and the Perryton Rangers. They're tied for 2nd with 3 wins, 3 losses each. And obviously the winner would have an advantage. However, Rangers have already defeated Pampa, and Pampa still has to play Bushland. So they could still end up in a tie with a Ranger loss here today. We just don't want that happening. On the mound, Cody Scarlett. Tollerson, the catcher, wind a left-handed pitcher outside, ball 1. to leadoff batter Adam Trejo. 1-0 on Trejo, who somehow figures some way to get on base a whole lot of the time. Cody Scarlett, wide and a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. One of the few lefties we'll face this year. Just don't have many around. He's a long, tall drink of water, too. Looks to be about 6'1" and weighs about 140 pounds. From the stretch, the wind and the delivery, and a swing and a foul tip down into the dirt, strike 2. A late swing by Trejo. And a slow curve coming in from Cody Scarlett. Leadoff batter for the Rangers, Adam Trejo. 1 ball, 2 strikes from the stretch. The delivery and a slow roller just past third into the mid of the shortstop. Not in time. Good running by Adam Trejo. A good stretch by Bryson Perryton on first base, and a good throw by Wolfley, but not in time. So a single for Adam Trejo, and brings up Logan Lemunion, the center fielder in today's game. As we've said, had a shake-up in the fielding for the Rangers. We will be talking about them as the game wears on. Left-handed and turns to bunt. Lemunion, and a high ball. Throw down to first, not in time. 1-0 to Logan Lemunion. So the Rangers and Pampa, always a competitive situation. If it's tiddlywinks, basketball, football, baseball, doesn't make any difference. Not a lot of love lost between these two towns. They respect each other, but they don't certainly don't want to lose to them. And going to second base and making the steal easily. Kind of caught his spikes just before he slid in down there, but easily beating the throw from Michael Tollerson. On second with a steal is Adam Trejo. Now Lemunion doesn't need to bunt. He could and put Trejo on third, but I guess he's going to try to hit it. 2 balls, no strikes, 3 balls, no strikes. To Logan Lemunion, the center fielder in today's ball game. He's played right field the majority of the entire year up until this game. And we've got other changes we'll be talking to you about. Not a big lead by Trejo off second. There's the stretch and making the turn to throw back to second. Nobody there for Cody Scarlett to throw it to, so he backs and toes the rubber once again. 2 balls, 3 balls, no strikes on Logan Lemunion. There's a pitch, swing, and strike. 3-1. The scoreboard has it 2-1, and the scoreboard is right as the umpire just raises 2-1 the count. 2 balls, 1 strike to Logan Lemunion. Castillo on deck, Nick Watts in the hole. Runner at second, scoring position with no outs here in the bottom of the first. Rangers with the threat. There's a stretch and delivery and a drive foul down the right side, out of play, over behind the dugout for the Pampa Harvesters. So 2-2 the count on Logan Lemunion now. And still on second is Trejo. No point in trying to steal third with no outs. And stepping back into the batter's box, we're set to go after coming back from his run down the first base line is Logan Lemunion. Trejo with about a 9-10 foot lead off second. Now Wolfley moves away. There's a pitch, high, ball 3, 3-2, full count now to Logan Lemunion. The Rangers got him out in an interesting way in the top half of the first. There's a stretch and the delivery, and walked him outside, going and stealing third and getting in. And on the ball in the dirt, good running and good alert running by Adam Trejo. And Coach Cowan's over there messing with him, and the messing with the dirt because he had a little tough time sliding into third, just as he did on second base. Kind of needs some loose dirt in front of there. You don't want to catch a spike and rip an ankle. Runners at the corners now, as on with a walk is Logan Lemunion. Anthony Castillo has been on a tear here lately, hitting above 500 for the year and driving in a lot of runs. Still no outs. Runners at the corners. Scarlett from the stretch. There's the pitch and a fly. Nope, that's a foul down the right side. Strike one on Castillo. And the Rangers were going. That was a good pitch for Castillo. I know he wishes he had done something a little more with that. But oh balls, one strike, and 2 men on, no outs here in the bottom of the first from the stretch, and throws it back to first. Getting back easily is Lemunion. You have to watch lefties. They can be very tricky. They don't have to make any kind of a spin move on you. Just to step off to the left of the rubber. Still no balls, one strike on Castillo. Scarlett, there's the lefty, and swing and a miss. Good pitch right down the middle, strike two on Anthony Castillo. Watts on deck, Marl Lemus in the hole. Nobody out. Runners at the corners. Fly to the outfield, scores one. Single will score one. There's ball outside. Good eye by Castillo. That would have been close, but we know now that you got a pretty small strike zone with this ump. Not as big as some, and throw back to first. Almost got away from the first baseman as Scarlett well off with that pickoff pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at third and first. Trejo on third. Lemunion on first. Castillo at the plate. The wind and the delivery and check swing and going down to second. Striking him out was Castillo swinging for out number 1. Going to second is Lemunion. Coming to the plate, Nick Watts with an opportunity to drive in 2 with a single. 0-0 so far. Rangers not in any trouble really in that first inning, top of the inning. But Rangers threatening here. Runners at second and third. Watts batting fourth, the cleanup hitter. From the stretch, Cody Scarlett, there's a pitch, high ball. Ball 1 on Watts. Watts for the year is batting .465, has 19 walks, 11 strikeouts, a couple of doubles, and a triple. From the Scarlett, the delivery, and there's a ball outside. No, he said it caught the outside of the corner. That's he just expanded that strike zone a little bit there. We'll see as it wears on. 1 ball, 1 strike on the left-handed curveball is what that was. Came in just on the outside, the wind and delivery, and swing and a miss. Strike 2 by Nick Watts. 1 away, Castillo struck out swinging, and Trejo on third, he got a single, and Lemunion walked. From the stretch, 1-2 the count. There's a wind-up delivery well outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nick Watts. Watts is 24-43 on the year, batting .465. Clean-up hitter. From the stretch, Scarlett. There's the delivery and down low. Ball.
14 quit.
And it was a ball, but the catcher jumped out on the ball and tagged Watts a little bit harder than he wanted to be tagged in, particularly since it wasn't a strike. It was a ball. didn't think he ought to be tagged if it's a ball, and pushed him back a little bit. As I said, not a lot of love lost between the Perryton Rangers and the Pampa Harvesters. So full count to Nick Watts. 2 men on in scoring position, 1 away. Need something here. Fly for an out or a single. Scarlett winds, delivers high, ball 4, walked him. And that puts bases loaded, brings up Marl Lemus, the senior who had been playing catcher, is now playing second base for the Rangers today in any case. Catching for the Rangers is Arturo Lopez, who came up, I think, from the junior varsity. So from the stretch, full bases loaded. There's a strike. Yes, he has just expanded that strike zone. That one was definitely on the outer reaches of the plate. No balls, 1 strike on Lemus. Bases loaded. There's a ball. 1-1. As Cody Scarlett thought, well, I made that last one work. Let's see if we can do it again. And that one was about 3 inches wider that time. 1-1 the count. No score in the game. 1 away. Bases loaded for the Rangers. The windup, the delivery, and there is a ball low. Ball 2. 2-1 now to Marl Lemus, the second baseman in today's game. Marco Ramirez on deck, and Maurice Lemus, who's been hitting well, is a designated hitter in the hole. From the stretch, the wind and delivery, and a foul straight back. Strike 2. 2-2. And the Rangers need something out of this opportunity with only 1 away. They need to get it into the outfield at least and score at least 1 out of this. From the stretch, Scarlett, there's the wind to delivery, ball 3, full count now. Now this one will be coming across the middle. You can bet on it, because if it isn't, they're going to be an RBI walk for Marl Lemus. 3-2, 1 out. Bases loaded. From the stretch, Scarlett winds and delivers high, ball. RBI for Marl Lemus. Walk. That's the 3rd walk in this bottom of the 1st inning. Rangers led off with a single by Trejo, a walk to Lemunion, strikeout swing to Anthony Castillo, and then 2 straight walks. And coming out to the mound is Coach Snellgruss, Caleb Snellgruss, to talk to his pitcher, Cody Scarlett, and to the catcher. I don't believe he's going to pull him, but he certainly wants to talk to him and see what the situation is. You got to throw strikes in baseball, because the Rangers just got 1 run, and bases are still loaded, and only 1 out. Fly to the outfield, gets a scored. And but you got to throw strikes. Tough situation for Scarlett at this point in time, but it's been of his own making, as he's walked 3. Lemunion, Watts, and Lemus. Ramirez, the 3rd baseman, at the plate. Good lead off 1st, short lead off of 3rd, good lead off of 2nd, Scarlett, and there's the pitch outside, ball. In fact, a big lead by Watts off of 2nd. He was probably 30 feet off. Ball 1 to Ramirez. So the balls still continue from Cody Scarlett. There's a wind and the pitch outside, ball. Down in the dirt, ball 2. My guess is one more walk and he's through. It doesn't appear that, I mean, he's not terrible wild. He's missing by about 6 inches most of the time. There's the stretch, a wind and delivery, and a swing and a foul tip back. Strike one. That was a good pitch by Scarlett. Ramirez fouled it straight back, and Marco Ramirez is hitting .324 for the year, and he's got a couple of walks, a couple of strikes, not a lot of power there. There's a pitch and a grounder. This is going to score 2 runs coming around and gets past the outfielder coming in, holding second, and Rangers scoring 2 runs off of that, going past the outfielder, coming in to score both LeMunyon and Watts. 3 runs for the Rangers, and a single for Marco Ramirez went between short and third, and just a good hit for 2 RBIs for Marco Ramirez. Brings up Maurice Lemus, as I stated earlier. He has been hitting well. Got 2 runners in scoring position. There's the pitch going to be called a strike on the outside corner by this umpire. He's settled down now, and his strike zone is pretty solid already. About 3 inches outside of the plate, and he's going to call it. From the stretch, Scarlett. There's the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Outside pitch that was well outside, and Lemus was concerned that it was going to be a called strike. So no balls, 2 strikes on designated hitter Maurice Lemus, the sophomore. Designated hitter, 2 runners in scoring position, and struck him out on a curve inside for out number 2. Strikeout swinging. That's the second strikeout by Cody Scarlett in this inning, as Castillo went down swinging. And now Lemus. Rangers 3-0. They've scored 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks so far. Still runners at second and third that could come in. And a swing and a miss. That's Alex Rascon, the first baseman in today's game, is at the plate. Lopez is not batting. Espinoza on deck. There's a curve outside. 1-1 to Arturo Lopez, or rather to Alex Rascon. And 1-1 the count. 2 runners still in scoring position, 2 outs. There's the wind and the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Alex Rascon, the first baseman for the Rangers. 3-0 our score, in case you just joined us on a coolish Tuesday afternoon, 61 degrees, got lots of clouds rolling around. Few of them have some rain in them. There's the wind and delivery, and a swing and a miss. Struck him out swinging for out number 3. But the Rangers get 3 runs on 2 hits, leave 2 people on. They lead it 3-0 in the top of the second. We'll be back in 60 seconds. And we're back at Hargrove Field, where the Perryton Rangers scored 3 runs in the bottom of that first inning in this must-win for Pampa, and a semi-must win for the Rangers in order to come away with undisputed second place in the district play, and getting a different draw, getting a 3rd place finisher in District 2-4A. Up to bat, Michael Tollerson, the catcher, and Anthony Castillo from the stretch, and fouled back on the right side into the stands. Strike 1 on catcher Tollerson. The Rangers got Brendan Wolfley. He made it to first, but then thought he'd play a quick steal, only to get thrown out at second base for the first out. And then the fielder's choice of Scarlett and Anguano. And we're looking at Michael Tollerson. Tollerson in the first game, and a one hop to third, Marco Ramirez, and got away from first baseman and on safe. That was an error by Alex Rascon, and on first with an error is Tollerson, and couldn't hang on to the ball, and a low throw from Ramirez, and but the error is on Rascon rather than Ramirez. It dropped, and not able to keep the ball in the glove was Rascon. Brings up Joey Hill. That's the first error in the game for either team. Runner at first is Tollerson. Joey Hill, the center fielder. Up to bat. Around the stretch, Castillo. Rangers coming in for a bunt and a foul tip, and a running to second. He did get part of the, I thought he did, but maybe not. Just hit the catcher in the mask instead of the bat. Attempted to bunt. So strike one, and going to second on the pass ball was Tollerson, and a swing and a miss, strike two on a good curve by Castillo. Caught the outside corner of the right-handed batter and kind of pulled the string at the same time. It's not got much velocity to it. From the stretch, Castillo, fastball, down low, in the dirt, dug out well by Lopez. Arturo Lopez, who's the catcher in this ball game. Lemus went to second. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Joey Hill. Runner at second is Tollerson, that struck him out, swinging for out number 1. A slow curve once again, and Hill pulled the trigger but didn't want to, and he half-heartedly swung at it, struck him out. First out here in this inning. On second is Tollerson, and Norris is up to bat. He's the right fielder for the Pampa Harvesters. He had a single and an RBI in the first time these two teams played, right down the middle on a fastball from Castillo, strike one on Norris. In on deck, Dylan Booth. In the hole, Evan Boyd. Castillo waits from the stretch, looks at Tollerson. There's the pitch, a strike. Nope. Ball inside, fastball. 1-1 on Norris. And he's the right fielder in both games for Pampa. Ranger infield is playing fairly deep with the runner at second, and Trejo goes over to cover, and ball outside. That one got away from Castillo and was about 1.5 feet wide, but stopping it, good job, was Arturo Lopez for the Rangers. From the stretch, Castillo wind and delivery, and a ground ball through the gap between second and third, and holding at second is going to be Tollerson, but getting a single is Derek Norris, as that got underneath and between Marco Ramirez and Trejo. As playing close to third is Ramirez. Big hole between the two. And up to bat is Dylan Booth with runners at first and second, 1 away here in the top half of the second inning. Rangers lead it 3-0 off 3 runs in the bottom of the first. Rangers are trying to hold the runners. Castillo from the stretch, the pitch, strike one on the inside to Dylan Booth. Fastball, just caught the inside of the plate. Not able to advance was a good thing, coming in and covering that grounder that went, and there's another one in the same place, and gets the ball and steps on third for out number 2. Does Marco Ramirez. No chance for a throw at first or second, but that's out number 2 as Norris is forced and Ramirez gets the out at third. So 2 away, and the fielder's choice on base is Dylan Booth, and out. Been one single, and that was by Norris. From the stretch, Castillo, there's the pitch, and a swing and a miss on a curve outside. Throw back to Castillo, kind of almost got away from him. Arturo Lopez. Strike 1 on Evan Boyd, the left fielder. Runners at first and second. As from the stretch and backing out of the box now is Boyd. On first is Dylan Booth. Derek Norris on second. Tollerson got forced. He was there on an error. There's a line in delivery and fouled right back into the right-hand screen over by the dugout of the Pampa Harvesters. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. As Castillo has done a good job here in this game so far. Has good control after throwing 6 straight balls in that top of the first inning. There's a line and delivery, struck him out, and throwing to first for out on the drop ball from the pitch. And out number 3, strikeout swinging. And the Rangers get them 4 up, 3 down one more time, and it's the bottom of the second. We're at bat. We're leading 3-0. We'll be back after these words. And we're back after a short interlude. Leadoff batter for the Perryton Rangers, Jody Espinoza, hit a high fly out to left field, but to no avail as the left fielder made a catch on it for out number 1. Now we're at the top of the batting order for the Perryton Rangers, Adam Trejo. And he has 3 balls and 1 strike on him. Sorry about the delay. We lost connection with the studio via the internet, and we've got it back now. From the stretch, that's outside, or ball 3. Ball 3 and 1 strike on Adam Trejo. 1 away on a high fly to 7. From the stretch of the delivery, that's outside, ball 4. And on base once again, Adam Trejo, the leadoff batter. And that's why you put Trejo leading off. It puts him on he gets on more than any other player for the Perryton Rangers. May not have the highest batting average, but he gets on come hook or crook, and that's what you want. You can't score if you didn't get on base. Up batting, Logan Lemunyon. and the ball outside to Lemunion. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitcher, Cody Scarlett, in case you just joined us, in that first inning, leading off with us was Adam Trejo, and Logan Lemunion walked, struck Castillo out, but then it started walk, single, and strikeout, and fly to left field, and the Rangers got 3 runs on 2 hits and left 2 on base. 1 ball, no strikes on Logan Lemunion. It's the bottom of the second, and 1 Ranger on, 1 out. There's the pitch outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on Logan Lemunion, who walked after working it to a full count in the first inning. 2 balls, no strikes. We're at Hargrove Field. Rangers lead at 3-0 in a big game between the Rangers and the Pampa Harvesters. Now coming in to speak with Cody Scarlett is the shortstop, Brendan Wolfley, probably kind of the leader of this team. He's been around for a long time. He was the pitcher at Pampa. He did a good job until the Rangers blew him out in the 6th inning. From the stretch, Scarlett, outside ball. Threw down to first, not in time. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes on Logan Lemunion, who is playing center field today instead of right field. The Rangers, in case you're just joining us, have kind of had a shift around in their defense. There's the pitch, ball inside, and is that not ball 4? And going down and stealing second was Trejo. Now, he thought it was 4 balls too, as did I, as did the scorekeeper. So it's 3 balls, 1 strike, and runner at second now. Scarlett from the wide, and a swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Logan Lemunion. Full count now to Logan. And what was amazing was that Trejo, this was kind of walking down the baseline because he thought it was a walk, and nobody paid any attention to him. From the stretch, the wind delivery, outside ball 4, another walk. So just like that, 2 walks and a steal and a runner at second, and brings up Castillo, who struck out swinging the first time up. But Castillo is a dangerous batter and actually has a leading batting average for the Rangers, .560, and is the only Ranger to hit a home run out of Mike Hargrove Field. He did that against Boyer. There was a wind and a high pop-up. That's going out to center field, and Brendan Wolfley goes back to make the catch about 30 feet into the grass for out number 2. Pop up to 6. Out number 2.
It'll go PO6 as Wolfley takes the high fly ball away from Anthony Castillo.
Coming up to bat now, Nick Watts. He walked the last time up. And was able to score as well. Still runners at first and second, and stepping off the rubber towards second was Scarlett. Getting back was Trejo. Jody Espinoza flied out to left field, and then Trejo and Lemunion walked, and Castillo popped up to short, and that's 2 outs and 2 on, and there's a line drive to right. That's going to be a single. Coming around to score will be Trejo, and throw to first, but going into third. Standing up also is Lemunion on that single by Nick Watts for 1 RBI, and just like that, the Rangers lead it 4-0, and on third is Lemunion, and on first is Nick Watts. Brings up Mauro Lemus, and he already has an RBI on a walk in that first inning. His bases were loaded, and Cody Scarlett walked him, and he got an RBI that way. So 1 run, 1 hit. There's a pitch and a line drive out. That'll be a hit in between the gap between left field. He fields it, throws to the cutoff man, and holds. Watts at third does it, but driving into second is Morrow Lemus with a double and an RBI. 2 RBIs in the game for Morrow Lemus, and that brings up Marco Ramirez coming in to run for Lemus. Is number, I'm not sure who, I can't see the number on the pinch runner. There's the pitch to Ramirez high. I thought they were pinch running for him, but they're not. Lemus is on second. Ball 1 to Ramirez. From the stretch, Cody Scarlett, there's a swing and a miss on a good pitch right down the middle. 1-1 the count. 2 outs. Rangers lead it 5-0 after Nick Watts and Morrow Lemus drove in runs. Rangers still could get some runs out of this one. There's the wide end delivery. Ah, boy, curve, beautiful curve. That thing broke about a foot from the left-hander into the right-handed batting Marco Ramirez. It looked like it was going to be outside to me too, and it just curved right over the middle of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ramirez. He drove in 2 runs in the first inning. There's the pitch and swing and a miss, and caught the ball, did the catcher, but throw down to first anyhow for out number 3, strikeout swinging, and the Rangers get 2 runs on 1 hit and 2 men left on. They lead it 5-0. We'll be back after these words. Back at Mike Hargrove Field, the Perryton Rangers leading it 5-0 as they scored 2 more runs on the 3 in the first inning. In that second inning, leading off for them was Jody Espinoza. He popped up, 2 walks and then a pop up, and a couple of singles, or a single and a double, driving in 2 runs by Nick Watts and Morrow Lemus. Up to bat for Pampa, Bryson, and leadoff hitter is Brendan Wolfley is leading off, and last time up he got a walk starting off the game, but then they threw him out at second, foul back to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wolfley, the shortstop for the Pampa Harvesters, a good athlete, plays football, has excellent quickness and a good arm on him. 1-1 the count to Wolfley. Rangers lead it 5-0, top of the third. There's a pitch and a curve pulled, foul. Strike 2, right at their Coach Snellgroos on the third base line. And 1 ball, 2 strikes, leadoff batter. You need to get that leadoff batter out if at all possible, because he can come back to haunt you. From the stretch, there's the pitch and a fly into left center field. Coming over, it's going to drop though. And going to second with a double is Brandon Wolfley. Not able to get there was center fielder for today, which is Logan Lemunion. But now they, I believe they may have switched out. And Logan is now in right field, I believe. And left fielder is Espinoza. But a single, a double actually, to Brandon Wolfley, fly to center. And stepping out of the batter's box, Cody Scarlett, the pitcher. He walked the first time up, but was out at second on a grounder from Carson Eubank to the shortstop. There's the pitch, swing and a miss. Thought it was a foul tip, but not. Went all the way back to the to the backstop and going to third is Wolfley on the pass ball by catcher Arturo Lopez. It was a tough one down in the dirt. Strike one on Cody Scarlett. And set Castillo, the pitch, and a short grounder, and can't get it. Throw to first, not in time. And runners at first and second, holding first and third holding was Wolfley on that single by Cody Scarlett. Well back, very deep, not able to make the throw was Adam Trejo. No one out, runners at the corners. Brings up third batter, Carson Eubank, will be followed in on the deck by Fernando Anguiano, cleanup hitter. So a double and a single here in this top of the third. Castillo steps toward third, off the rubber, and both runners go back to the bag. Carson Eubank, the designated hitter. There's a wind and a pop-up, and coming in, and Trejo makes the catch for out. And Adam Trejo almost ran into Marco Ramirez on that pop-up back behind Ramirez, but Trejo covering a lot of ground for out number one. Pop-up 2-6, and that's good to get one away. Brings up Anguiano, as I said. He's their third baseman and cleanup batter. Still runners at first and second. Wolfley, or first and third. Wolfley and Scarlett. Castillo from the stretch. There's the pitch, pass ball right down the middle. Strike one on Anguiano. Fernando. He struck out looking in the first inning for out number 3.
Runners on the corners with one out, top of the third, 5-0 Rangers.
5-zip. Rangers on top, but Pampa threatening. From the stretch, the wind and the delivery, and a foul back to the right, out of play. Strike 2 on Anguiano. We've got 1 out. Runners at the corners, and no balls, 2 strikes on Anguiano, the third baseman. Looks over towards Snellgrus for the signal, and he's taking his time. And Snellgrus is. He just now got her done. Claps, and here we go. Castillo reads it, set, and makes the turn, and they got a runner at, and a mistake by Mauro Lemus allows the score, and no one's out. As going off at first and allowing Wolfley to come in and score, throw to second base Lemus, dropped the ball, and that allowed Scarlett to get back to first base. But nobody out, and the run scores. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3 on Anguiano on the curve. But Pampa gets a run on one single and an error. Similar error to an error that hurt the Rangers when we played Dalhart at home plate on a throw to get a out, and coming off the mound, Trejo dropped the ball. There's the pitch, called strike on the outside corner on Michael Tollerson. He got on an error in the second inning. 5-1, Rangers up by 4. 2 away, runner at first, at the plate, Tollerson. And the wind and a pop-up, and coming in and making the play from first base, Alex Rascon dived and caught the ball about a foot off the grass for out number 3. But Pampa scored 1 in the top of the third. Rangers coming up. It's 5-1. We'll be back. And we're back. Hargrove Field. Pampa scored 1 in the top half of the third inning. It started off with a double by Brendan Wolfley, single by Cody Scarlett, and pop up for out number 1, Carson Eubank. And Fernando Anguano struck out, as did Michael Tollerson. But coming in to score for the Pampa Harvesters when the Rangers had a rundown at first on Cody Scarlett, and Wolfley came in on the diversion, and the Rangers didn't get Cody Scarlett out. Obviously, it didn't hurt that they didn't, but you can't leave them on. And one error, part of the Rangers. Lemus. Coming up to bat for the Rangers in this inning is Lemus, the designated hitter, and swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Maurice Lemus, sophomore DH. Rangers lead at 5-1. They scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, in case you just joined us. And Pampa just scored 1 in the top of the third. There's an outside pitch, ball, 1-1. The count to Maurice Lemus. The rundown at first, I know, is one of the things that Coach Cowan has kind of been bugging him over the last several games. There's a foul tip back into the face mask of the umpire. Strike 2 on Maurice Lemus. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out, leadoff batter here in the bottom of the third. Rangers scored those 2 runs off of 2 hits in that inning. From the stretch, Cody Scarlett, that's outside, hits the home plate, bounces back. 2-2 now, the count on Lemus. On deck is Alex Rascon, and in the hole, Jody Espinoza.
4 strikeouts by Scarlett, but 3 walks.
2 balls, 2 strikes. On Maurice Lemus, there's a pitch and ball outside. Good eye. As the catcher and the pitcher both thought that was going to be called a strike, and it was close. But Lemus held back, and it's a full count now. Lemus leading off here in the bottom of the third. As we said, Brandon Wolfley, that's going to be a high walk. And Wolfley got on. He got on with a hit in the leadoff of the third inning, but he came around to score. And it's the leadoff batter in any inning is extremely important. We got a timeout, and looks like we're going to have a relief pitcher coming in. They took the ball from him, so we're going to assume that they are replacing Cody Scarlett, more than likely with Brendan Wolfley. But we'll take a break, and we'll be back after these words. Rangers lead at 5-1. It's the bottom half of the third inning. And we're back as they've shuffled the infield and the pitching around to accommodate Dylan Booth, who was at second. Evan Boyd has been moved to second base. And I'm not sure, I believe that's the only change. Boyd is now at second, and Cody Scarlett, I believe, is on the bench with Dylan Booth on the mound for the for the Pampa Harvesters, facing Alex Rascon. The first baseman for the Rangers. There is a pitch and a bunt by Rascon down the first base line, and the pitcher gets it, throws it to first for out number 1, and advancing to second base is Maurice Lemus. So grounder to 1, and the Rangers bring up number 6, Jody Espinoza, to hit next, and then it'll be the top of the batting order with Adam Trejo and Logan Lemunion. Runner at second on a walk and a bunt to first base, or to the pitcher for out number 1. Espinoza, there's the wind and delivery in the dirt in front of the plate. Ball 1 by Dylan Booth to Jody Espinoza, 1-0. 5-1, the Rangers up by 4 here in the bottom of the third inning as the Harvesters got on the board with 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error. They're in the top of the third. From the stretch, Booth, and a grounder to third base, throw to home, and trying to get to third, not able to get there. Having to come back was Maurice Lemus, out number 2 on the throw from third baseman Anguiano to the first baseman for out number 2. So grounder to 5, and that Adam Trejo with a runner in scoring position. Trejo has gotten on a single and a walk in the first 2 innings. 5-1, 2 outs. Runner at second. From the stretch, Dylan Booth, and makes the move toward second. Getting back is Lemus, as Booth's he's a small man and can make a quick move. He plays second base for the Pampa Harvesters, obviously quick on his feet. Booth from the stretch, the wind and the delivery, and a grounder to third, and muffs it. Throw to first, not in time. So on with the single is Adam Trejo. He's 2 of 2 and on base 3 times. Here in this one, still not able to advance. He couldn't. Was Lemus. That was smart running, because if he'd tried, he would have been tagged out by the third baseman. So Logan LeMunion is at the plate now. Runners at first and second. From the stretch, Evan Boyd, and a ball. They say he did not go around on that. Ball 1 on Logan LeMunion, held it up. It was a low pitch, and he was close to breaking his wrist, but didn't. From the stretch, Boyd. Wind and deliver, outside ball. 2 balls, no strikes on Evan Boyd. Rangers lead it 5-1, bottom of the third inning. Rangers scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Pampa put 1 up in the top of the third. Boyd from the stretch, the wind and the delivery, and there is another ball on the outside. Ball 3, 3-0. And, after a while, Coach Snellgroove's going to think he's been snake bit, because he can't get anybody to throw strikes. 2 away here in the bottom of the third. From the stretch, there's a wind and pitch, and there's another walk to Logan LeMunion, and that brings up a dangerous hitter, Castillo, the pitcher for the Rangers. And the bases are loaded, folks. 2 away. Rangers got some runners. Castillo has struck out swinging and popped up to short the last time. He's due. 560 hitter, and we need a single. Boyd from the stretch. Bases loaded. There's a curve high ball. It came across, but it never came down. Up around the shoulders of Castillo. And that's a pretty high ball, because Castillo's at least 6'1", 6'2". So 5-1. Bases loaded. Castillo can help his own cause here with a single that would score 2 runs. Boyd from the stretch looks in, gets the call. There's a wind and the delivery, and a pop-up once again in center field, right center field, and going over and making the catch for out number 3, center fielder Joey Hill. And the Rangers leave 3 on in the bottom of the third.
Anthony Castillo, PO8.
No hits, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 3 men left on. The score 5-1. We'll be back after these words. And we're back. Mike Hargrove Field. Rangers lead at 5-1. Had the bases loaded. Couldn't bring anybody home in the bottom of that third inning. We're in the top of the fourth. Called strike on number 17, Joey Hill, the center fielder. Just caught that fly ball of Castillo's. And there's a pitch and another swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Joey Hill. We're in the top of the fourth. The Rangers lead it by 4, 5-1. Castillo has done a good job here. Has allowed 1 run on 1 hit. An error in that inning did not contribute to the score, however. And there's the pitch and a runner to second, throw to first, and time. Out number 1. Grounder, slow grounder to second baseman Mauro Lemus, who has replaced Connor Lane for today. So grounder to 4. And out number 1 brings up Derek Norris, the right fielder for the Pampa Harvesters. He has a single to right the last time up in that second inning. There's a pitch and a curve outside, ball 1 on Norris. Norris is the
Second batter of the inning, Derek Norris, the right fielder.
right fielder.
6, 7, and 8, Hill, Norris, and Booth. Spin it up here.
And a hit
To the left side, Ramirez.
to third for out number 2.
Ramirez on the hot corner to the left.
Grounder to Norris.
Dylan Booth in the top of the fourth.
And out number 2 for the Pampa Harvesters. So 2 up, 2 down on a couple of grounders. And up now is Dylan Booth, who started out at second, but is now pitching for the Pampa Harvesters. Castillo winds up and throws it right down the middle for a strike called. And the sun is coming out a little bit. I don't know whether it's warming up outside. It's warming up here inside. Most people are in coat sleeves out there. There's a pitch and a grounder to second once again. The call is made, the throw is made to first, and out number 3. And just like that, grounder to 4 for 3 up, 3 down. That's the way we like to see it. The score is still 5-1. It's the bottom of the fourth. Rangers coming up. We'll be back after these words. And we're back at Mike Hargrove Field. We've got some changes in the defense of the Pampa Harvesters, according to the other radio station. Joey Hill went to left, and Cody Scarlett went to center field. And of course, Evan Boyd went to second. Dylan Booth went to pitcher. So, not sure why that was made, but they've had lots of changes. Rangers made a few changes themselves with the starting lineup of the defensive team for the Rangers, with Mauro Lemus at second, Alex Rascon at first, Espinoza in right, Logan LeMunyon in center, and Nick Watts in left. So up to bat for the Rangers, Nick Watts. Rangers leading 5-1. The last inning, there's a high curve, ball 1 to Nick Watts. Rangers loaded the bases, couldn't bring them in the third, left 3 on. They have left on a total of 7 runners. There's a pitch down low, but it's called a strike. And 1-1 to Nick Watts. So 7 are left on, and no errors on the part of Pampa. From the line, and a line drive to right field. It's going to be out of play over the fence down the right baseline, just past the dugout of the Pampa Harvesters. And the last time up, the Rangers, they had a walk and a grounder for first out, and then a grounder to third base for the second out, and a single and a walk, and the bases were loaded. But Nick Watts, another swing and foul back. Strike two still. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Watts has gotten on a walk and a single. He got an RBI there in the second inning, 1 of 2. Mara Lemus came up and had a double, got an RBI. And then the Rangers left 2 more on there in that inning. Rangers have had 3 hits so far in the game. From the stretch, there's the line and delivery and a ground ball to third, got it, and the throw to first in time for out number 1, grounder to 5, as just barely digging that out of the dirt on the bounce was third baseman Fernando Anguiano. That brings up Mara Lemus once again, as he has walked and got a RBI in the first inning, doubled and got an RBI in the second inning. Good production from Marl Lemus. Here in this bottom of the 4th inning, Rangers still leading 5-1, scoring 3 in the first, 2 in the second. There's a line and delivery in the dirt about 6 feet in front of the plate, and stopped. A good job by Tollerson to stop that with his body. So ball 1 to Lemus. 1 away on a grounder by Watts to third base. From the stretch, the line and delivery, and a bounding ball to third once again. The catch, the throw to first, and pulled him off. No, they say that he stayed on. It was close. He was on his stomach, both feet just barely on the bag, and that's out number 2. Grounder to third. Once again, there's 2 outs by third baseman Anguiano, and that brings up Marco Ramirez, has a single and a strikeout looking. 2 RBIs for Ramirez there in that first inning on a single. The Pampa Harvesters and Perryton Rangers playing for second place in District 1 4A. The line and the delivery, and caught the outside corner according to the umpire. Strike 1 to Marco Ramirez, as the good size strike zone is what this umpire has established. The stretch, the line and delivery, and over the head of Ramirez for a ball. Just ducked down and got well back behind Ramirez. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. In relief, Dylan Booth. There's a bounding ball. Third base won't get it. Shortstop gets it, not in time. So that's a single by Ramirez. They couldn't make up their mind who was going to get it. First the pitcher was, then the third baseman, and the third baseman pulled off of it. Shortstop, Brendan Wolfley, came in and got it about 15 feet from the pitcher's mound, threw to first, but not nearly in time, as Ramirez down there in a hurry with the single with 2 outs. Brings up designated hitter Maurice Lemus, struck out and walked in this game so far. Score 5-1 from the stretch. There's the pitch, and caught the outside corner. Strike 1 on Maurice Lemus. Dylan Booth has had better control than Cody Scarlett by a long shot, not throwing that many balls, and got in trouble in that third inning, but got out of it with the Rangers not scoring any runs, bases loaded. There's line and delivery, and they're going to call that a strike 2. Just expanded it by about 3 inches outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs on Marco Ramirez.
So you got track and field at Lowry Field at Lubbock, golf out on Frankfurt and 4th Street at Shadow Hills, and Ranger at softball.
Maurice Lemus, that is, I'm sorry.
There on 19th. 19th Street.
And a line drive to right field coming in and going in for a single. Going to third, the throw, not in time, and gets away and goes into the dugout. And the Rangers, after that double by Maurice Lemus, and can't come home. The ball goes into the dugout, I believe, but advancing to second is Lemus on a single, and advancing to third is Ramirez. So with 2 outs of the first 2 hitters, the Rangers now threatening with a couple of runners at second and third, and Alex Rascon, the first baseman, who made an outstanding catch of a little blooper at first base earlier in the game. From the stretch, the delivery outside gets past the catcher, and not able to go was the runner, which was Marco Ramirez. He hesitated, and by that time, getting back in a hurry, Tollerson got all the way back to the backstop and retrieved the ball. Otherwise, we'd have had a score. Rascon, 1 ball, no strikes. Dylan Booth on the mound and relief. From the stretch, the pitch outside in the dirt, once again stopped by Tollerson. That was ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on Alex Rascon. From the stretch, Dylan Booth. Runners at second and third. There's the pitch and a line drive foul down the right field baseline. Strike 1 on Rascon. 2-1, 2 away. Runners at second and third. Rangers have left 7 on so far in this ball game in the first 3 innings, while scoring 5. Bases loaded in the last one, need a single here. There's the wind and the delivery and a ground ball, and caught by the first baseman, and safe, and coming in to score, Marco Ramirez. And Pampa isn't going to like that call at all. It was close, but getting on first as stabbing the ball was first baseman, throwing it to Dylan Booth, coming in off of home, and now they're going to talk. The Pampa coach talked to the second baseman, who's gone in to talk to the umpire, and my guess is this is not going to be overruled. He's still safe, and Alex Rascon gets 1 RBI on a single that was close as a hairbreadth. Rangers with the 6th run and the 7th hit, as it's been 3 straight singles here in this 4th inning with 2 outs, as the first 2 batters, Nick Watts and Mauro Lemus, both grounded out to third base, but then Ramirez singled, Lemus singled, and nobody came in, but then singling Alex Rascon. And runners at the corners now, as the Rangers lead it 6-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Espinoza has flied out to left and grounded out to third base the 2 times that he's been up. Rangers 6, Pampa 1, as Anthony Castillo has done a good job to keep Pampa contained. From the stretch, Dylan Booth. There's a pitch and down in the dirt, and taking second is Rascon on the steal. And now the runners in scoring position at second and third. That's indicative of course, there was a runner at third, and you'd hesitate to throw to second because you could have got a runner come in. But over the games this year, I have not seen any. And there's a line drive to left field in there for a double, and scoring 2 runs as Jody Espinoza pulls in standing up at second base as he hit it just past the left fielder, who was Joey Hill, who was moved over to left field, and a 2 RBI double by the 9th hitter for the Perryton Rangers as he goes to second, and coming in to score both Maurice Lemus and Alex Rascone. And the Rangers lead it 8-1. Brings up the leadoff hitter Adam Trejo, who has been on 3 different times, but is 2 for 2 with 2 singles, had a walk. Runner at second. There's a pitch and a grounder to short. Wolfley throws to first in time, out number 3, but not before the Rangers get 3 runs on 3 hits, leave 1 on. They lead it 8-1. It's the top of the 5th. We'll be back after these words. Perryton Rangers scoring 3 runs when they had 2 outs. Nick Watts grounded to third for out number 1. Mara Lemus grounded to third for out number 2. Then Ramirez a single. Lemus a single. Rascon a single. And Jody Espinoza a double to bring in 3 runs. All of those by the bottom of the lineup for the Perryton Rangers. Leading 8-1, and coming up for the Pampa Harvesters, Evan Boyd. Boyd is he was playing left field and got moved to second. Still batting in the same position. And there's the line, and the pitch by Castillo, curve outside, caught the corner according to the umpire, and that's the way he's been calling them all day. Strike 1 on Evan Boyd. 8-1. There's line and delivery, and that's down in the dirt. Ball 1-1 to Evan Boyd. As we said, started at left field, was moved to second base, was Boyd, as Dylan Booth was moved to the pitcher position. From the stretch, Castillo, and a line drive down the first base line past the outreach arm of Rascone, and a single. As coming over in a hurry from his right field position, Espinoza, doing a good job covering that one. But a single nonetheless to Evan Boyd for a runner on first. Next up, leadoff hitter Brandon Wolfley walked and doubled in that 3rd inning. Leadoff batter for that 3rd inning when they got their score. He came in on a rundown of Cody Scarlett, who was on first, and the Rangers had Cody Scarlett to dead to rights, but got nervous and missed a throw, and coming in to score was Brendan Wolfley, and getting back to first on that one was Cody Scarlett. So kind of a muff play there. On first now, Evan Boyd, and the batter is Brendan Wolfley, and almost hit him there. Ball 1 to Wolfley. 1 ball, no strikes. The score 8-1. It's the top of the 5th inning. Rangers leading it. They scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 in the 4th. There's a pitch and called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Wolfley. On first is Boyd with the single. Castillo sets and throws to first, not in time. Getting back is Boyd.
Pampa 1, top of the 5th inning. Nobody out.
Castillo looks in, steps out, does Wolfley.
We want to thank our booster
And
club sponsors once again, and this one
we're set now, and there's a wind and deliver and a line drive out to foul territory. Running back is Rascone, but not able to get it, couldn't see on the grassy area past the Pampa dugout. So it's strike 2 on Wolfley. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. On first is Evan Boyd. Rangers lead it 8-1. Castillo from the stretch. And the wind and the delivery and strike 3. You're called out looking. That's what that's called. Wolfley really was fooled by the fastball. He didn't even take the bat off his shoulder hardly. And it was right down the middle for out number 1 here in this top of the 5th inning. So runner still at first. Coming up now is former pitcher, Cody Scarlett, the left-handed batter. He walked and singled in the 3rd. Runner at first. From the stretch, timeout's called by Scarlett. As I said, he might weigh 140 pounds and about 6 foot tall. Just a wisp of a guy. Left-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher. And from the stretch, and a pitch caught the outside corner to the left-handed batter. Strike 1 on Scarlett. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, runner at first. Evan Boyd has not been able to advance at all. From the stretch, and the throw to first, not in time. Rascone makes the tag after getting back underneath it. Evan Boyd. 1 ball, 1 strike, stepping out of the box. Cody Scarlett stepping back in. Yep. He's set to go. Has a real open stance. There's a windup and a pitch, curveball, strike 2. Good pitch by Anthony Castillo. Good job. Hasn't struck out that many. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 strikeouts so far in the game. 1 away here in this inning. Stepping out now, Scarlett. Scarlett playing a few mind games. He's a pitcher, and he gets tired of waiting on Castillo. We're set. The wind and the delivery, and outside ball that did not come back. Ball 1, 1 and 2, the count. And they are not attempting to steal. Of course, they're down by 7, which makes stealing somewhat risky. You can't beat an 8-1. There's a swing and a miss, and the throw to first.
Oh my goodness.
Over the head of the first baseman, and getting to first, even in spite of the strikeout. Another error by the Rangers. And strikeout looking, swinging, but he gets to first base, and going to second is Boyd. Still just 1 out. Brings up Carson Eubank, the designated hitter, as the throw by Arturo Lopez way over the head of Rascone. There is the wind and pitch and a foul back to the right.
It will be the 6th strikeout of the ball game, and meanwhile back at the ranch, Boyd.
And up at the plate, Carson Eubank. You get a strikeout even if they make it to first, because he did strike out. It was just on an error. And that is the second error on the part of the Rangers. And waiting for the pitch, Castillo, and high and inside, that's ball. 1 and
from stealing the base after
2 strikes.
the strikeout goes in the books.
There's a pitch and called strike
0-2
on
to
Eubank.
Eubank, the designated hitter.
That's going to be strike 2, ball 1 on him.
Today. Hit it
1
to
ball,
field,
2
first
strikes,
and
2 outs.
with runner at first base, and hit a line drive to the shortstop in the third.
Eubank
Number off the fist, where Adam Trejo
got a short,
running to his right.
and there's a pitch and a fly
To the right side.
foul on the right side.
Rangers
Still 8-1.
up here and changed things.
2 men out
It was a 6
as the
set in stone.
runner was called out
That's the case
down
as
at
far as
first
the
base,
offense goes, but the defense has really been shaken up. The only difference is
which
throughout the first 6 games of district play,
makes it 1 runner
Ramirez
at
at
second
third,
is
Trejo at short,
Boyd.
or Castillo would pitch, and then those 3 players.
Carson Eubank, 1 ball, 2 strikes,
Shortstop.
2 outs. Runner at second. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Swinging for strikeout number 6 for Anthony Castillo. Out number 3. No runs on 1 hit and 1 man left on, 1 error, and that's the top of the 5th. We're going to the bottom of the 5th for the Rangers, leading 8-1. We'll be back after these words. Back at Mike Hargrove Field, some confusion on how that second out occurred because the throw was well over the head, and standing on the base as I was marking it was the batter, Cody Scarlett. And then I'm looking over, and there is no Cody Scarlett there. The consensus is that the bag was occupied and he could not take it. So they stole second, but out number 2. This is the bottom of the 5th. The Rangers could win it here if they can get 3 runs. They're up 8-1. They need 3 runs to win it. And first up, and a drive to left field over the head of the left fielder, and coming around to third is Logan Lemunion, or second, and he's going to make it to third. It's going to be close to throw, not in time, and triple by Logan Lemunion. It was a pretty poor play by Joey Hill in left field, as he started in on it, and then he discovered that it was not going to be where he thought it was. It was going to go over his head. It went almost to the fence out there, and doing a good job of running the bases was Logan Lemunion to pull into third. Good way to start out this bottom of the 5th inning with a triple. Rangers lead it 8-1, brings up Castillo. He could help himself out here. There's the pitch, and down in the dirt, ball. Stopped by Tollerson with his chest protector. So ball 1 and a triple for Logan Lemunion. Castillo has not managed to get a hit in this game. There's the pitch, that's outside, ball 2. As he made the 3rd out in the 3rd inning when the Rangers had men on in scoring position, and a grounder to short. And 1 ball, 2 balls, no strikes on Castillo, and a bunt down first baseline foul, strike 1, 2-1, trying to sacrifice Logan Lemunion in from third. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sun comes out, really bright after being overcast. I'm telling you, that is really bright. Used to this overcast, and I'm going to have to shade my eyes to be able to see. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Runner at third is Logan Lemunion on a triple. There's the wide and the delivery. Castillo swing and a miss. Strike 2, 2-2. Appears to be warming up. The kids are still in shirt sleeves. The adults all have hoodies on and huddling. Oh, to be a child again when you don't care whether you're cold or not. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Anthony Castillo. On the mound, Dylan Booth, and there's a ball high, 3-2. Curve ball that never came down at all. Stayed up at the head of Castillo. So full count to Castillo. 3 balls, 2 strikes, runner at third. Need 3 runs to run rule them here in this inning. There's a pitch and a ball 4, walked him. That was high, down the middle but high. So runners at the corners, and Nick Watts, a walk and a single and 1 RBI, and grounded to third the last time up in that 4th inning when the Rangers' first 2 batters went down, grounding to third for 2 outs, and then the Rangers went ahead and scored 3 runs in that inning. So we need something like that in this one so that we don't have to go 7 innings. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The Rangers lead it 8-1. And at the bat with 2 runners on is Watts, and that's a line drive into left field. It'll go to the fence, and coming around to score will be 2 Rangers, and going in with a double is Watts. And coming across the bag right now is Anthony Castillo, and the Rangers score 2 more runs on another double by Nick Watts. So a triple, a walk, and double, and 2 runs have scored. The Rangers lead it 10-1. They need 1 more, and that 1 more is on second base in scoring position. Marl Lemus has a walk and a double, and grounded to third. Coming in to run for Watts is 16. Is that who that? Calvin? Can't see for sure looking at the front of him, but I think it's Calvin Taylor, number 16, is coming in as a pinch runner. At bat, Lemus. Just need a single and this game's over. That's all we need. On the Booth. There's a pitch, caught the outside corner, strike 1. Curve ball, that's his best curve that he's thrown since taking over for Cody Scarlett in the middle of that 3rd inning. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out, runner at second. Booth. And a ground ball to short, advances the runner to third, and 1 out down to fielder's choice to first base from shortstop Brendan Weffley, and that's 1 out. Need a fly ball or a single, any fly, anywhere, and the Rangers will score another run and run rule the Pampa Harvesters. Just get it to right field, and that's all you need. There's the wind and the pitch, outside ball. 1-0 to Marco Ramirez, the 3rd baseman for the Perryton Rangers, leading 10-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. On the mound, Dylan Booth. At bat, Marco Ramirez, the wind and the delivery, and a foul off to the right. Kind of golfed that one. It was pretty low. Shanked it to the right into the netting for a strike. 1-1. Rangers have had a triple and a double and scored 2 runs as Watts brought both of them in. There's a pitch and a high fly into outfield. And the shortstop makes the catch, and not able to go to home was the runner, Calvin Taylor. So 2 outs, and that brings up Maurice Lemus, the designated hitter. He struck out swinging, walked and singled in the 4th, and he needs to do something here. Out number 2. 10-1, the Rangers. Runner at third. On the mound, Dylan Booth has gotten Marco Ramirez to pop up to 6, and Mara Lemus Grounded to
Bat, straight on stance against the freshman.
shortstop. There's a line drive. Nope, that's a foul off to the right.
Along the first base side.
Out of play. Strike one on Maurice Lemus. Coach Cowan's out there coaching him. Saying,
Here's Lemus now getting
lean into it
direction.
and hit it. You bet, Coach. I'll do that. So, no balls, one strike on Maurice Lemus.
Infielders back at
Runner at third, 2 outs.
middle infielders
Dylan
line.
Booth on the mound, the wind and delivery, and outside curveball,
Booth outside for
1-1. As a good eye that time by Maurice Lemus. That was a good curve. It was just outside too far. 1-1 the count.
I think I have
You know the Rangers want to end this here, not go 2 more innings if they possibly can.
since the first.
Booth from the stretch.
Originally
Runner
there were 11
set. There's a ball down in the dirt, 2-1. On deck is Alex Rascon, who got an RBI in that 4th inning with a single. If Ramirez should get a walk here,
catchers make errors too. Everybody
and
around them
Rascon struck out in the first and grounded
today, and that's
to the pitcher in the
last 3
third.
games where they have committed
2 balls, 1 strike, and inside and high, ball 3.
over 3 games, but only 1 today.
Good eye by Marco,
One now with,
not swinging.
Lemus looking at a
Really hasn't had
strike zone.
much to swing at
Corners for Alex
in this
Rascon.
at-bats here.
Next circle, 1
He did swing at that one and fouled it off,
his credit. Rascon
but wasn't a good pitch.
is at bat.
Dylan Booth from the stretch, the wind and the delivery, and a grounder to third,
Third baseman.
fielded over to first for out number 3, and that ends the inning. The Rangers came close. They lead it 10-1.
Couple of hits.
Back on the mound, Anthony Castillo will be back
Pampa after
at Hargrove Field after these words. Back at Hargrove Field, the Perryton Rangers lead it 10-1. It's the bottom of the 6th, and the pitcher Anthony Castillo has 6 strikeouts and has held the Pampa Harvesters to 5 hits over 5 innings, and only 1 run scored. So Castillo doing his job.
4, 5, and 6.
It's going to be up to the Rangers from this point forward, and Castillo. Up to bat is Angriano, the third baseman. He's made some good plays on defense.
Runs on 10 hits.
From the stretch, Castillo, the pitch, and a strike rate stat down the middle.
On the bases.
Little bit of a curve to it.
Adriano over 2 strikeouts
So, no balls, 1 strike.
in the first inning.
We're in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Third baseman Fernando Anguiano.
Another curve, just a little bit low on the inside. 1-1
1, 2.
to Anguiano. He struck out looking in the
In the second, stole the base.
first, and in the third, made the third out on a grounder. There's a pitch, and outside, ball 2. Just a little too far outside for the umpire. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Player off the hand.
And
Third inning.
the Rangers lead it 10-1.
2-1 pitch now. 0 for 2 today. Looking for
Nobody
something
out.
he can drive here.
Bottom of, or top of the 6th, there's the wind, and a slow bounder to Castillo. Fields throws to first in time for out number 1. Grounder to 1, and that brings up Michael Tollerson. He got on an error in the 2nd inning, did not score, and struck out in the 3rd.
1 out, nobody on.
He's the catcher for the Pampa Harvesters.
In front of Pampa.
Tollerson,
For Michael Tollerson.
1 out, 10-1 Rangers.
Wide open
Top of the
stance.
6th.
Time as Castillo looks in.
Backing out of the batter's box is Tollerson. Looks down the third baseline at Coach
That he
Snellgross.
handled just about anything.
Gets his
Just
orders, and he's set to go.
tightened up, get runners on
Castillo from the stretch, the wind, and a grounder down third base foul.
ball down the third.
About a foot
It's happened
foul down that third base line. Strike 1 on Tollerson.
Falcons.
And 1 out as Fernando Anguiano ground to
And,
the pitcher,
strikeout total through today,
Castillo, and threw him out.
38 going in, now 46.
No balls, one strike on Tollerson. 10-1, the wind and the delivery, and a fly foul down the right side and out of play, I believe. Yes, it is. Strike two out there behind the Pampa dugout. No balls, two strikes on tackle or catcher Michael Tollerson. Rangers kind of jungled their defense a little bit, in case you have not been with us, and Tollerson calls time, waiting for Castillo. Alex Rascon is at first. Marl Lemus, normally catching, is at second. From the stretch, Castillo, the pitch, and a foul back, straight back. Still no balls and two strikes on Tollerson. Got one away. Ramirez still at third and Trejo at short, but Nick Watts went to left field. Logan Lemunion went to center, and Jody Espinoza is at right field. Arturo Lopez at catcher. Castillo winds and delivers, and a ball high. Right across the middle, but high. Ball one, 1-2, the count to Tollerson. One away. Anguiano, we're in the top of the sixth. Rangers just need to get these guys out here and score one run and the game's over. There's the wind and the delivery, and ball inside. So 2-2 the count on Tollerson now. Anguiano popped or grounded to the pitcher to make the first out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The wind and delivery outside, ball 3. Full count now to Tollerson. This is the first full count that Castillo has had since the first 2 batters of the baseball game. Full count. Tollerson. The wind and stepping out, and a good pitch by Castillo. But Tollerson stepped out, called time before the delivery. 3-2. Full count. Michael Tollerson. One away. Castillo winds and delivers, and a pop-up foul down the left side, and it's out of play. As Tollerson is hanging in there, making Castillo work for it. One away here in the top of the 6th. Anguiano grounded out, and Michael Tollerson's got a full count and forcing Anthony Castillo to work. The wind and delivery, and swung on a wide pitch, struck him out, swinging, curve on the outside. He couldn't lay off of it. Out number 2. Good to get that one away. Brings up Joey Hill. Number 17 started at center field, moved to left field, made an error on a fly ball that went over his head for a double. And good for the Rangers. He struck out and grounded to the second baseman, swung on, missed, strike one. So, Joey Hill, no balls, and a line drive to second, stabbed it, throw to first, in time. Out number 3, good play by Mauro Lemus at second base, and the Rangers get them out. 3 up, 3 down. They still lead 10-1. Need one to win this ball game and make it over. So hopefully we'll get it in this bottom half of the 6th inning. 10-1. We'll be back after these words. We're back at Hargrove Field. Rangers lead it 10-1, and coming up to bat for the Perryton Rangers, leadoff batter here will be number 11, Alex Rascon, the first baseman, as the Rangers need one to win this ball game. Rascon has struck out, swinging, grounded to the pitcher, and singled in the fourth inning. The wind and the delivery, that's ball one to Rascon outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Here, leadoff batter for the Rangers, Alex Rascon. He got an RBI in that fourth inning. On the mound, Dylan Booth has done a good job in relief. That's ball 2 high. And 2 balls, no strikes on Alex Rascon. He's so far tonight. There's the wind and delivery. That's going to be ball inside 3. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes on Alex Rascon as Cody Scarlett walked Castillo, who scored in that 5th inning. From the stretch, there's the pitch. That's outside. Walk there too. And been talking over the last several games. In high school baseball, a walk is almost a double. And coming in to run for Alex Rascon is number 17, Alan Sanchez. Alan Sanchez has been the left fielder for the Rangers for many, many games starting at left field for the Rangers in this game was Nick Watts. Kind of a shuffle up, and coming out to talk to his pitcher is Coach Caleb Snellgroves. Not sure what's going to happen here. I guess we're going to have a pitching change. That's probably going to be the shortstop coming in to pitch is going to be Brandon Wolfley, warming up on the mound. Yep, that's who it is. So we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from 3 sponsors and be back with the Rangers and Pampa. Rangers leading 10-1. We'll be back. Back at Hargrove Field, Wolfley on the mound now. Jody Espinoza, and tries to bunt it down the first base line, goes foul. Strike 1 on Espinoza. Last time up, he got a double and drove in 2 runs in the 4th inning, and did a good job. He made a grounder to third base in the 3rd and flew out to left field in the 1st. No balls, 1 strike. Runner at first. Wolfley on the mound, and a line drive, and that's going to go into left field. Rounding second, but holding at second is Alex Rascon as a single by Jody Espinoza. Advanced the runner to second, and nobody out. Brings up, guess who? The leadoff batter for the Perryton Rangers. Coming in to run for Jody Espinoza is number 21, Miguel Fabella for the Rangers. And into bat, Adam Trejo, no outs. And the Rangers need a single or an advance and then a fly ball to bring one in here in the bottom of the 6th. Rangers lead it 10-1. Need 1 run to win it. Trejo. On second is Espinoza, or Rascon rather. And running for Rascon is Fabella at first. There's the point in the pitch, and a swing and a drive foul down the left side. Foul ball, strike 1 on Trejo. That was almost a defensive swing as it came well inside, but Trejo is pretty much a fearless batter. He knows what he's doing up there. From the stretch, Wolfley, runners at first and second, the pitch, and another foul down the left baseline, strike 2. Well out in front of these pitches by Wolfley. Not showing much speed on his velocity on his pitch so far. Got a single off of Espinoza. need to get something out into the outfield to at least advance the runner at second. That's ball down low. Need to get that runner on second over to third. Nobody out yet, and that's the good news. But we need to advance that runner some way. Hit to, and there's a foul down into the dirt. Hit to right would be good, but Trejo is well out in front of these. He's not going to hit it to right, I don't believe. It's going to be pulled something. The left fielder is shading well to center. We'll see what happens. From the stretch, Wolfley. Trejo set. There's the pitch and the swing and a miss. Strike three, struck him out. And Wolfley gets his first strikeout and the first out of the ball game. Brings up Logan LeMunyon, who tripled the last time up. Walked in the third, walked in the second, and walked in the first. He's been on base 4 times. He's 1 of 1 here in this ball game. Wolfley from the stretch looks at Rascon. There's a pitch down in the dirt, ball. And actually that is not Rascon, that's Alan Sanchez running for Rascon on second. And Miguel Fabella, number 21, is running for Espinosa. 1 away, 1 ball, no strike on LeMunyon, and a foul right into the dugout of Pampa. I would have been jumping because that was a screamer going into that dugout. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Logan LeMunyon. 1 away, runner at second. Need a single to end this ball game. Rangers lead at 10-1. It's the bottom of the 6th.
Lamps are lit here at Hartgrove Field with cloudy skies.
Runners at first and second. Woefully on the mound from the stretch. There's the wind and the pitch. That's outside. Ball low. 2-1 now to LeMunyon. He's 1 for 1 with a triple and 3 walks. He got full counts in the first 2 times up, and then 4 straight balls in the 3rd inning. So we're ready to go. There's the wind and the pitch, and a line drive over the third baseman. Coming in to score will be Alan Sanchez for the winning run, and that is the end of the game as Logan LeMunyon singles, 1 RBI in. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a double and 3 walks for the game. Drives in the winning run to end it. In the bottom half of the 6th, the Rangers take sole possession of 2nd place in District 1-4A. We'll be back to wrap this one up after these words.